Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes, and you can see that we have a new house. This is our new Milton Daily Homes site, and I hope you enjoy it. We got rid of that annoying password front page because I know that you know that I know that you know that neither one of us really like that very much, and it works better on a phone and tablet and so on. So give us some feedback about what you like and don't like. Obviously, launching something this different is going to come with little bugs and things that tend to happen. So anyway, today we've got a list of 21 properties. The list is down there, and we're going to go through some of the highlights today. So we're going to start off with a bank sale at 23 Dills, $429.9. It's a semi-detached. So right away, knowing that, plus seeing the 1,500 to 2,000 square foot size, there's a good chance that this one, if it's half decent, and sometimes bank sales can be a hot mess inside, sometimes they can be okay, but that's really what I consider to be a pretty aggressive price for this home. They're going to wait, because one of the things about bank sales is they need to prove that they've gotten the most amount of, attention and traffic and everything else. They're holding back on offers until early March. So if you want to go check this one out, there's a couple things to know about bank sales. I won't get into extreme details today because it's a big list, but you can check past episodes for power of sale and bank sale if you search by keyword, which is one of the things down in that corner. 585 Grant Way townhouse, $434.9, and it has apparently a basement apartment with a separate entrance. Now, how do you legally do a basement apartment in a townhouse? It's very difficult. You can't do a side entrance. So they did an entrance from the garage. The parking is probably just straight driveway. Moving ahead, you're going to have to comply with the building code, the fire code, and have enough parking. And usually that means side-by-side parking. I don't know if this would ever qualify as legal, but it's hard to tell without any photos. People call it an in-law suite. It's up to you if you choose to rent it, and it's not considered legal, but there is some liability there. So we've written a lot of information over the years about second suites in homes in Milton and how it's changing as a result of the province coming in and really mandating that a lot of municipalities that didn't do that traditionally, Milton, Mississauga, Oakville, Toronto, well, some parts of Toronto, they just turn a blind eye, but a lot of those communities have had to change their policies as a result of the province saying we need to fit more people in Halton region, Hamilton, Toronto, that kind of stuff. So 735 Thompson is probably one of the better deals in today's list. It's a semi, it's almost 1,400 square feet. $439. It's got laminate floors. It's one big open family room, and then you have a kitchen with an eat-in. The bedrooms upstairs are not a bad size. There's one around the staircase. The middle bedroom is a little bit small, but overall I would say this one represents pretty good value, and I've seen this model even last year sell for this price on Thompson, so I think they'll do well. Now, 668 Marks is listed at $499.9. It's a Mattamy Westgate corner, 1717 square feet. Very nice finishes. I have clients that use this room. So you come in on the side door. Anytime you've got a corner, usually there's a living room, there's a dining room, and then there's family kitchen in the back. It's a pretty standard layout. But this can be a handy home office, or it could be a kid's playroom. There's a variety of uses when you split the living and dining room up. It's a very open concept main floor. The finishes are good. Counters, bathroom mirrors, everything is set up the way it should be. There is a little bit of a loft space upstairs, which is handy to have. And then they also have a finished basement. It would have been nice to see a picture or two of the finished basement, especially when there's like 5 of the outside of the home. I think this one's going to do well. That's the train tracks just over here. $499 is not a deal on this one, but we know that move-in ready always or almost always sells on the high side of fair. Now, I like the price point for this one on Guelph Line. You're getting about an acre. You're getting a decent sized home with a little extra garage workshop area. Inside the home, it looks pretty clean and tidy. The kitchen has had some work done. You've got a double oven here. there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes when you get country, you get into this price point, it's like, or high fives, you kind of look and say, I'm going to have to put a lot of work into it. It would appear that this one is relatively move-in ready. I mean, everybody has their own finishes and paint colors and so on, but you've got a renovated kitchen, and you've got lots of parking for cars here too, and it's a pretty quiet area. By the time you get up to about 25 side road, there's not a tremendous amount of cars and drive-by traffic. Now, Randall came out late in the day on Friday. Nice quiet street, 55 by 120 foot lots. Lots of nice upgrades in here. It is a little bit smaller though. I mean, it's only a 3-bedroom, so this is priced at a point usually where we see the larger 2,200 square foot 4-bedroom homes in this area. That's usually where they're selling, and I guess the mindset is that they've done a pretty significant amount of improvements in this home, and so they're trying for the same price point. So move-in ready. They do have a pool. It's a little hard to see from here, but it looks like an in-ground pool, and you got to wonder sometimes. I think most people that if they had the choice, they would sell the home with the pool in the warm weather. So sometimes this can be a sign of motivation when you see a home with a pool selling in the off season, because you're obviously not displaying it at the ideal time. So anyway, we'll see what happens with this one. There's not a lot for sale right now that's nice in the old neighborhoods, Bronte Meadows, Timberley, and Dorset Park at this price point, at this quality. Now, there's a couple of Liveworks in this list. I'm not going to go over all of them individually. You've got this one here on Main Street. You also have one of the other ones at Derry and Thompson. We were actually considering our team office to be in one of these spaces right on Main Street. $755 is the price here. It's by far the least expensive. You have about 743 square feet of commercial space, and so this is set up as a spa. My big problem with this one was parking, and we've now seen that they've opened up some parking spots on Main Street. But when I looked at this whole development, I didn't feel like the parking was adequate for the number of residences and businesses that were in here. So the Main Street stuff helps. At the time when they developed, they didn't really offer that option or really advertise it. But anyway, it can be a decent option. The financing is a little bit of a hybrid, the same as a live-work hybrid building. You find that commercial rates tend to be a little bit higher. You need a little bit more down payment. So they depending on the lenders, they kind of combine programs, and maybe you get a bit of a reduced rate. Maybe you don't have to put as much down. But definitely speak to a mortgage professional about those options, because that can obviously weigh in the decision. And the other thing that you want to speak to a lawyer, to an accountant about, is the portion of commercial that you're purchasing and the value associated with it. Is that subject to HST? Because residential resale homes are not subject to HST, but commercial properties are. So I would guess it's probably a 2/3, 1/3 residential commercial. That might be another hidden cost that you probably don't want to be surprised at the end. Okay, 291 Woodlawn, I think, is another one of the best deals in today's list. You can see where it is. It's a little loop street coming off of Laurier, just a little bit east of Bronte. And so it's a good walking location. You can go over and get a slice of pizza over at Twice the Deal or La Rose, grab some wings at Memphis Barbecue. That's probably not safe for kids. Anytime you can have a kid that can jump through that, it's probably not your ideal. Anyway, the home, it's a little bit more original condition. It does look like they've done some pot lights in the master bedroom, and they've painted the cupboards in the kitchen. But what are you going to get for a detached home at this price? There's not many other options. And for that reason, I think they're going to do well. We've seen things on Rose Heath that looked the same as this, or even sometimes a little bit worse, and they've been selling right around this price point, or even semi-detached right at around the $420, $430 mark. I like it. So Panton Trail has kind of an interesting history. So they listed, I think it was last year, $399, sold it conditional, and I assume for more than asking. But anyways, the deal fell apart. It's now back on the market for $35,000 higher than they were asking last year. And one of the things to consider is not just looking at the terms of the offer, because I've been on the selling side, an offer's been brought to us and the agent is surprised, the buyer's agent's surprised when I say, okay, who are the buyers? What do they do for a living? Are they first-time buyers? Do they own a house? We want to know who's buying the house, because one, we're looking at the offer and the terms of the offer, but we need to know, is this person going to complete the sale? Because if not, yes, you can sue them if they don't close. However, you're still born with the task of having to sell the home again, extra costs, and it just gets messy. And the only people who win in court are the lawyers anyway. So really feeling stable about who that buyer is. And on the buying side, I've actually won a lot of properties, a lot of multiple offers, because I've let the sellers know who the buyers are, the stage in life that they're at, their vision for the property, and how they want to raise kids in it, for example, the financial stability. So it's not just numbers. You got to know who's buying your house, and you got to make sure that it's stable and a good situation to get into. So anyway, this property is called the Charlton Model. And so in celebration of our 5-year anniversary, let's do the Charlton dance.
It's not unusual to be loved by. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
All right. Anyway, let's have a look at the photos for the home. 1715 square feet of living space, and they've done it nicely. It's a nice home. I think stainless steel appliances really would have raised this one up a notch. The investment for something like that, if you can find for fridge, stove, and dishwasher, if you can get it under $2,000 and you're replacing white appliances, generally it's not a bad idea. Obviously, if you're at a higher price point for your house, if you're in a detached double garage home, you want to consider investing a little bit more. So you want the appliances to match the kind of buyer and their expectations when they're coming into the home. Finished basement, backyard. And the interesting thing about this one is there is actually a door directly from the garage to the backyard. Mattamy Homes have elected to give you more living space inside, and then they give you a right-of-way over your neighbor's property. So if you like bringing your lawnmower through your neighbor's backyard, that's something you get with a Mattamy home. If you're okay with less living space and having direct access, then you go to a lot of the other builders like this one here. So anyway, I think the price point's good for what else is out there, and they're probably going to sell this one pretty quick. So there we go, the 5-year benchmark for this site. I would have never imagined when we started way back in the day in 2010 that we would ever be here 5 years later. But I think people do appreciate the fact that we give you a bit of stuff that you can't find just from searching properties online. The information, the listings are out there, but it's the interpretation is missing. And that's what we believe when we started this site. So it's been a great ride. I hope to be here 5 years from now. And thank you for watching. Whether you've seen one episode or whether you've seen all 1,000+ of them, it's great to have you here. And the future looks bright. So we'll see you tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes.